Hi everyone, very good evening guys. I hope I'm audible and visible to all of you. I would need a quick confirmation in the live chat box, and if everything's good with the AV, then we can get going right away. So welcome to this session. You know, it's a timetable strategy planning for the upcoming NEET PG. Most of you have recently given the INI-CET. I think I don't need to take you back into that journey and remind you of the trauma, remind you of your mistakes, because I'm sure by now you've given that a good thought. You've analyzed your mistakes. You know where exactly you went wrong, whether it was in your preparation or it went wrong while attempting the D-Day. There were issues out there. So you pretty much know where you had a problem. Most of you have narrowed it down to knowing the topics but not being able to recall, or not knowing probably the depth in which the question was asked. So somewhere you know where the issue remains, and now exactly what you have in the next 93 days starting tomorrow is how to resolve those issues and get the best outcome for NEET PG 2026. So now what I've made as a plan, most of it as a student I feel is doable. Some parts of that timetable I myself feel are not very practical. But then I think we always have to set out for a certain goal, and we as human beings will always have backlogs. So I will keep a certain, final destination for myself. I will decide that, okay, this is what I want to achieve. And even if I manage to achieve an 85% of what I have set out for, I think it will be good to go. So the only purpose of this very quick 15-20 minute session, with including all your doubts that you'll have in the chat box, is that I want to give you a structure, because I can give you all those motivational talks, but the half-life of motivation is pretty short-lived. Motivation will only get you started, right? But this system that I want you to follow for the next 93 days, that is going to actually help you reach the finish line, cross the finish line. So this is a plan that I've made. I'll just quickly make you scan through it. I've got you 3 revision cycles starting tomorrow. So today, whatever time is left of the day, in case you have not been studying, today is the day that you are going to actually sit down and get all your resources, get declutter, get everything in place. It's like putting all the ducks in a row, and you have to make sure that now when you're ready to study for 10 plus hours starting tomorrow all the way till the very last day, you make sure that you have everything streamlined. I know initially you will feel that this is not doable, but this is exactly what I've planned for students who recently gave the INI-CET exam. So I'm assuming that if not 19, you have done at least over 10 to 12 subjects already. In case you are in your internship, or if you feel that no, I had not given it my best shot, I would require, then obviously from your revision 2, I would want you can take up 10 more days and make it a 55-day timetable. That is why I'm going to just give you a basic outline. I'm not putting it date-wise, because that I want you to do. All of you are following multiple sources. All of you are following so many things. You have a plan in mind. So you will have to customize it. Hear me out for 5 minutes. I'll just make you quickly scan through all of this, and then whatever doubts you have, till then I won't be picking up doubts from the chat box, so keep that on hold. Listen to me for 5 minutes, and then we'll open the house to all the queries. I think that will be the least cluttered thing that we can do right now. So starting tomorrow, let's at least think of a 45-day plan, but I also want to include the GTs in it. So let's now narrow it down to 42 days of studies and 3 GTs, which sounds okay that 3 GTs I have to give, irrespective of whether you've done 10 subjects, 12 or 14. That is not of my concern right now. My concern is that you're giving a GT, you're analyzing your mistake, because in INI-CET the problem was how could you recall, how much could you recall, and that is what I'm wanting you to solve with a grand test. So I'll talk more about it. If you ask me for motivation, which so many of you ask me that ma'am, how to stay motivated. I was reading such funny comments before this live started that ma'am, how to not sleep during the exam. I mean, if you're thinking of sleeping during the exam, then if you ask me such questions, then my answer is so jao, sleep in the exam. This means you're not motivated enough, you don't want it enough, and that is why you're asking me such stupid questions. But all said and done, the only motivation right now that you have is to exit the rat race. Now, for the entire 4.5 years when you were studying during your MBBS, our thing was make concepts, build a foundation, get your foundation strong. Now, in the last 93 days, when you're in your last lap towards the exam, it is not about getting a strong foundation. Now it is about survival of the fittest. So now you have to make sure that you're studying very exam oriented. Now it is not 90 days of how to become a good doctor, how to become, more patient oriented or patient centric. Now it is about thinking about yourself, your exam, your rank, and your future. So your only motivation right now is run the race so well and exit it ASAP. That is what you have to do. So this is exactly the first thing that we have. What source? I'm sure by now you already know. Many of you, for some subjects, you might have done main videos, but I believe most of you have done rapid revision for most of other subjects. So stick to whatever you have. Even if your INI-CET did not go as planned, please do not change your source. Changing the source is not suddenly going to make your rank jump by hundreds and thousands. It is actually the revision of that source which is going to do so. So if you've started doubting your source, I think that's the first mistake that you're doing. Now what I've kept as a timetable, I've given you the number of days. You will add the dates in front of it because many of you might have been studying, but I will always suggest bite the bullet first. Start with something which you do not like, and for most students it is an anatomy. Most of this timetable, how I have planned it, if there is a very toxic subject, then I've tried to keep a short subject after it. If there is a very toxic subject, then I've tried to keep a short subject out of it, so that now after that you can go to the next toxic subject, then you have a short subject, then you can go to the next toxic subject. So I've tried my best that at the same time, if you're doing anatomy, then orthopedics fits well. If you're doing surgery, then following it up with radiology fits well. If you're doing pathology, then a lot of path images come in derma before you go to micro, and then all those genital ulcers will automatically take you to infections. That is why you have micro after it. So the pattern or the flow of this timetable has been thought over, but at what day will you be doing what, that is something that you have to decide. This is what I've kept. I'm not here to, this is, yes, partly spoon feeding, but partly thinking that you are an adult with a mature mindset of your own. So you know कि exactly मुझे 42 days कैसे utilize करना है. Before you start with all of this, I have always been a very follower of the fact that medicine in your first cycle should never be done as 7 days at a stretch, because then that gets you nowhere. Neither do you finish the subject. Let's be honest, it's vast. You'll never finish it. Nor are you going to be satisfied with whatever you have done in those 6 days. So you, at the end of it, you feel you wasted those. I have always been a fan of the fact that your first cycle should have 1.5 hour. Imagine doing medicine for 45 days every day for 1 hour. That's 45 hours. That's pretty much your rapid revision content that you can, more than that, you can easily finish it off. Yes, in the second cycle and the third cycle, we will do 4 day, 3 day, 2 day, like that. But pehle you will take out 1 hour of your life in the morning or in the night, fix a time. Either every morning at 9 o'clock for 1.5 hours you're studying medicine, or every night at 9 o'clock. So that requires discipline. No matter, come what rain or shine or thunderstorm, you have to study for that 1.5 hours every day, because this is your integration. After that, you will not have to ask me that do I have to do systems specifically, separately. I would say no. If you've been doing medicine, if you don't want to do that, then this 1.5 hours can be your systems also. Many of you are studying integrated system wise. So then put in that 1 hour every day for the systems, to each his own. Now this is what you do. I'm not reading it out. I think you can take a screenshot. This is what you do for 42 days. Along with that, I want you to do 3 GTs. GT ka analysis has to happen the same day. Please don't do, I was doing 20 questions in the following week. I want you to start from question 1 to question last, and I want you to analyze the GT, not subject wise now. See, if you have been studying for INI-CET, एक baseline आपका already ready है. Now you've entered into the next phase of your preparation. So if you are in the next phase, I have students who are in phase 2 of their preparation, post INI wale students, I want you to start from question 1 to question end, because I want your mind to think the same way as you were thinking in the grand test. Question 1 pe you were very alert, you did not do a mistake, but by the time you came to question 100, you were so exhausted that you ended up making a mistake. I want you to think in the same format as you were giving the GT. So go exactly question 1 to last. If you are a naive, a new kid on the block, then you are a phase 1 student. Phase 1 students go as subject wise analysis, that okay, I will first analyze. Either you go subject wise, or you go that what all did I do wrong, you do incorrect, then you go for questions which you have taken a guess. काम कर गया, but I'm not sure whether it will work on the day of the exam. So guesswork questions have to be studied, and then you go in for the correct questions. Either which way, चाहे आप जिस भी phase में हो, correct questions को analyze करने के लिए please don't waste your time in reading those lengthy explanations that every app has given. Correct question तो आता था तभी correct हुआ. Either you revise it from your notes or you just pass. Give it a pass. Your main focus of reading explanations is on the incorrect and the guesswork questions that you have. Now, how to make a 20th notebook. After that, I'll take you to the next 27 days of your revision cycle 2. 20th notebook, please don't ask people, don't download random PDFs from Telegram, because trust me, you're never gonna get back to it. If you've given INI, you know all those thousands of screenshots went pretty much to waste in your gallery and you didn't revisit them. So now what I want you to do, if you are a digital notes person, you've been making notes on Good Notes or Notability or whatever, then you decide that I will have 20 pages on that digital app. For 19 subjects, I've just kept 20 pages. If you are a handwritten notes kind of a person, then 20 A4 size sheets lo, unhe staple karo, bind karo. That is now your 20th notebook. Do not download random PDFs from here. And how do you make your 20th notebook? Is in these 42 days are very critical. So what I'm going to do, roughly that comes out to be 1 page per subject. What I'm going to do in this is I will write down only the names of the topics where I'm making a mistake. Either while studying pathology, I realized that CD markers will never be my cup of tea. So I know I have to revise that. All that I do is write CD markers for my last week revision. When I'm doing microbiology, I mean, it is pretty obvious that I will forget that Rickettsia chlamydia table. Who will remember that Let, Fen, Tria, PSM? So I will just write Rickettsia table over here on the microbiology page. So your 20th notebook is this. It is not writing everything all over again and then making a new copy which is as bulky as your main notes. This is your 20th notebook. Remember, 1 page, roughly 20 to 30 topics per subject will be included in that 1 page. Do it digitally, do it on a notebook, but those 20 pages stapled together become your last 1 week revision cycle. Now this wraps up your revision 1. I told you 3 cycles, so that now takes you to the next revision schedule. I've given you tentative dates so that you have a timeline in mind. Once you're done with this, including 3 grand tests, now you know exactly how to proceed. जो लास्ट GT आप दोगे उसमें जो बॉटम 5 सब्जेक्ट्स आएंगे, दैट इज एग्जैक्टली वेयर यू स्टार्ट योर रिविजन साइकिल फ्रॉम. And now you can see that now the time for 1 hour everyday medicine is gone. Up now you start getting things under the roof. You start making sure that everything is concise, crisp, to the point, and I'm reading, starting, finishing it on the same day, and then I move forward. I don't have time to make things scattered. That is why I say sirf systemic padhoge, you only go integrated wise, you will have so many things left out that you will not be able to assimilate everything. So start going subject wise and try to bring systems alongside. So now over here, I think I've given you, it's a shorter 27-day schedule. Many of you doing internship, you might not get so many days for revision because your revision cycle 1 only will not end in 45 days. You will have to take at least 10 more days out of it. So your revision 2 and 3 obviously become shorter because you're busy with your internship, and that is totally understandable, but we will have to make a way out of it. Now you've done this revision 2. I think for bigger subjects, I've given 3 days. For path micro, I'm hoping in your second revision phase you will be able to do it in 2 days. And for all the shorter subjects, you can see 1.5, that's the max that I've given because it's a revision. You can't afford to do more. What should you be doing? Obviously you're not doing any main videos by now. Either you're doing an RR, or if you have been a part of the live classes, you revise those PDFs. If you have been a part of none of these, then the previous LRRs which are available on YouTube, by now you should be, you should start getting into doing those. Once you finish with this, by the way, this is a 25-day plan. Out of 25 days, you add 2 days for grand test. As soon as you give these 2 grand tests, now you enter into the last phase of your revision. This also becomes a screenshot thing. You take this is your phase 2, and now you enter into the last phase, which is phase 3, where I know many people say that, oh, give as many GTs as possible, but I've never been a fan of it. I feel that in the last 15 days, a student has so much on the plate to cover that giving a GT just creates a lot of anxiety. So rather than labeling it as a grand test, you keep solving questions with a timer every day, which becomes mini GTs. But yes, at least till 10 days before before the exam, give one grand test, which is going to be your final grand or mock test, which you can. And this is going to be the final 21-day plan, where things become very, very quick, very concise, coming down to 1.5 days. Still, for the bigger subjects, I've given you 2 days, which we've managed to pull in, which I think is a great deal. But all these shorter ones, I have given you a timetable of 6 days. But in 6 days, if you see, I have roughly covered 9 subjects, which is a great deal, almost getting half a day or less than that for every subject. And that wraps up your final revision cycle. One grand test you give at any moment in these 21 days. Whenever you feel a little overconfident, give that GT, take the leap of faith, but do not focus on the marks of this GT over here, because this is just for doing time management, etc. This is not to analyze the score and the rank that you're getting. All said and done, I think we have settled the cycle of 3 revisions. I'm going to take up all the doubts that you have now, and for those who want to take a screenshot, this is of phase 1, this is going to be of phase 2, and this is going to be of phase 3. Yeah, sorry for not reading your comments. We'll open the house to the doubts now. For those students who are asking me or telling me, this is one common thing that I'm addressing right now. You're asking me or telling me about your rank. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever rank you got in INI-CET, and you're in that hangover and you've not been able to get over it. So what are you getting out of it now? Okay, you can sit, sulk, cry over it and feel all scattered and shattered. That's fine, but then what are you getting out of it is my question to you. Better would be that you get over it. Just close that chapter. Not every chapter of your life is going to be a happy one. Many chapters of your life are going to be sad ones. Do you plan to sit and sulk over them forever? No. And as they very famously say, this too shall pass, right? Similarly, INI-CET had to happen. It happened. After that, it got over. You didn't get your dream rank. You didn't get your dream branch. So that was not meant to be. But it came as a learning curve. It gave you a lesson. It told you what you did right. It told you a lot of things that you didn't do right. And you are learning from it. And you're going to apply all of that in the next 93 days. Just remember, now you're in the revision phase, which means the next 93 days and the discipline that you put in the next 93 days will shine at the end of August. It is the rank that you'll get in August, you'll get it. But all of that will come from the discipline that you'll put in June, July, and the rest of August. So it's all about discipline and consistency. Honestly, guys, consistency compounds. I'm a strong believer of this. This revision timetable, as I said, is half doable. Half is like taking the leap of faith that ho jayega, I will manage it somehow. Because you are going by a simple rule that I will try to stay consistent. I will try to clock in 10 hours plus each single day. On some days I might fail, and that is acceptable, because that's why you are not AI. You are human, and every human fails. So don't be too harsh on yourself. It's a part of the process. You have to trust the process, as they say. So please remember, consistency and effort. Maybe you sit for 10 hours and on certain days you're like, I studied all 10 out of 10. But on certain days you didn't even study 4 hours out of 10. But then I will still be counting your consistency and your effort of sitting for those 10 hours and not giving up and not sulking and just shutting your books and going out and roaming around, but still trying and sitting there against all the odds and giving it a try. That is what the universe watches. That is what you will be paid for. So consistency compounds. Trust me on this. If you don't trust the process, trust me on this. You will have to trust someone in this entire journey. It could be yourself, it could be your teacher, it could be your timetable. So I think the best thing to do is trust your timetable. Trust that the fact that you have put in so much of effort over these past many years, not just counting your MBBS, but all those struggle years that have gone before that. And now, if you've done it earlier, you can do it again. It is not that the time has passed. 93 days might, right now, you might feel, kaise hoga hai, bahut kam time reh gaya hai. But now just count it as every day having 24 hours. 93, if you tell a non-medico, he will say, 93 days, I can make the world turn around. And if someone else can, then so can you. So I don't want to listen to your INI-CET rank. I don't care about it. 2 years or 6 months down the line, no one is going to ask you also. If you get a rank in NEET PG, no one is least interested to know that what rank you got in INI before that. Ultimately, if you achieve something, then everything that has happened in the past somehow gets diluted. So then get that rank in August, get that rank in NEET PG, so that no one can ever question you about the rank that you got in INI-CET. It works as simple as that. That's the harsh reality of life. Today, a lot of people will be asking you your INI-CET rank because you don't have a certain rank in hand. The day you will have the branch in hand, the day you will have something to just say it on their face, no one is interested in all the previous INI ranks that you got. That's the reality. How many times do we need to do PYQs? PYQs, so I don't know how many times you should be doing. PYTs, I don't have a number to it. As many possible. But now my question is, PYQ, तो आपने एक बार पढ़ लिया ना, so most of you end up mugging it up. It's like a ratification that happens. So you know that, oh, this was the catch and I'm not supposed to do it again. So if you keep doing the same PYQ again and again, you're not challenging your brain in any way. I want you to do PYTs because that revision will help you get new questions, go into the depth of the topic. So PYTs के लिए अलग से time नहीं निकालना. When you're doing the subjects, PYTs are going to happen alongside, right? Let's assume you're doing rapid revision, so 80% of PYQs are anyway covered when you're reading the content. The remaining 20% gets covered when you're doing the Q bank. So अलग से there is no time that you have to take out for it. LRR, there is no LRR as such planned, and there's no detailed LRR because this time PrepLadder has a lot of live classes which are starting for NEET PG. They are starting on June, I think June 20th. If I'm, the exact schedule is coming up between June 15th and 20th, it shall be starting. So that is going to go on for almost 45 days or so. So we don't have a detailed LRR, but having said that, we will have some YouTube sessions. But guys, why are you dependent on those? Those YouTube sessions happen in the last, 1 month? Do you want to wait all through these entire 93 days for those last 30 days to come when you look at one YouTube session and decide your entire fate on a YouTube session? I think that is, I would never ever consider that as hard work, and I would not, someone who's done that one YouTube session and gone in the exam is honestly not worthy of getting a rank. I'm saying out very harsh truths today, but that's a fact, right? Someone studying for 2 hours with one YouTube session and expecting कि मुझे तो सब कुछ मिल जाएगा, and at the same time right now crying over INI-CET is not just adding up together. Either you don't cry over INI-CET. If you're crying over that rank, then action time. Then make sure that the YouTube session that comes in the end is just an add-on and a bonus and a confidence booster for you. It is not the basis of your preparation. That is not something I want to look forward to. That agar aa gaya to very good, ma'am, we will be, it's like a +1. I will love to attend it. But if it is not something that I would keep waiting for and base my entire preparation on. Okay, after INI, you don't know what to improve on. Maybe you have just focused so much on marks kitne aaye, rank kitna aaya, that you are not able to get over that. You're not able to get past that. You will have to forget those marks for a while. You will have to think like a third person. Sometimes the third person's perspective gives you more clarity. So you have to think like that third person. Ki kya galti kari? Was I truly, with a hand on your heart, were you truly giving in those 10 hours plus with proper revision of notes and attempting 100 questions every day? Were you doing that? If not, then the answer is in front of you. That is the problem. Did you do all of this, but on the day of the exam you ended up messing it up? And that is a major problem which many students have seen. We have some brilliant minds, even students who joined in today's session. I don't think you need any of my advice because you are much more talented, much more intelligent. But then the problem is, on the day of the exam, panic ruins everything. A calm mind will always win over a panicky, brilliant mind, and take my words on that. It is a game of mindset. You're giving one of the most competitive exams on the country. Sirf talent or knowledge pe hota, so we've got the best talent in the world that we have in our country. Every student would have been rank 1, trust me. But that doesn't happen. Some people who studied so much and for so many years do not end up getting a good rank because mindset matters as much as your knowledge on the day of the exam. So if you are a calm person, chances are that your efficiency and your methodology of performing in that test will be better than someone who's extremely brilliant but ended up getting panicky on that particular day. And if that is the problem that you did in INI-CET, then your answer is again in front of you. तो या तो आपके स्टडी प्रॉब्लम है या फिर आपका माइंड सेट प्रॉब्लम है, और कोई थर्ड प्रॉब्लम हो ही नहीं सकता, राइट? अ थर्ड प्रॉब्लम कुड बी डेस्टिनी एंड वी कैन नॉट फाइट ओवर इट. द ओनली टू थिंग्स you can fight over or fight against is, number one, get a proper study schedule, which we have. Number two is get a proper mindset, which only you can. My motivational quotes and thoughts and words will only last you tonight, and tomorrow morning you'll be back to yourself. Till the time you're not motivated enough, till the time you're not having that grit and determination within you that I have to do this, and you know your mind yourself doesn't tell you that okay, I have to do this, I have to burn the midnight oil. Till that time this is not going to happen, no matter any teacher you follow. कोई आपसे पढ़ाई करा नहीं सकता. It is ultimately your mind who's going to do that for you. So you have to get that in place first. RRR तो NEET PG के लिए definitely होगा. That will happen. That will also happen in June and July. The live TNT that you're talking about on the app, that is definitely going to happen. Integrated or system wise, how to study medicine, whatever you studied up till now, कुछ नया नहीं पढ़ना. If you've been studying it medicine wise, तो आप medicine ही पढ़ो. If you have been studying it system wise till now, then you do the same. Whatever you did, you will never change your source in the last 93 days. 93 days are a lot, but changing a source means putting in more time and then revising it, which will never happen. You might finish it, but you won't be able to revise it. Either which way, content same है, कुछ बदलने नहीं वाला. I mean, cardiovascular system from here or from here is going to mean the same. हाँ, this will be a little more integrated. It might integrate you with other subjects also, but at the same time, the content remains the same. Methodology of learning changes. So whatever you have been studying till now, बस उसी को continue करो. Don't change the process. Okay. You've given 12 GTs. I think Dr. Khushi is asking a valid question, and most of you are probably you've hit the plateau phase. Probably you've gone into a decline phase. Whatever GT you give, why don't you guys, if you are not studying today and you're planning to start this from tomorrow, why don't you all start with a grand test today? Try, I mean, it's too short of a time now. Pick up any GT if you have one, or there is one live NEET PG mock that is ongoing on PrepLadder app. Wahi de do. Give that a shot. Just give it very casually, what people call as a baseline GT, to know that okay, if I'm starting with my studies tomorrow, whatever you have in the GT, whatever score you get, don't tell anyone, don't tell me, I'm not interested. Just pick up whatever 3 worst subjects you had in this GT. Try giving the NEET PG mock on the app today. Pick up your 3 horribly performed subjects and start with those from tomorrow. So Dr. Khushi, that is exactly the criteria you follow. When I say 3 GTs देना है, तो GT देते time जो आपके bottom 3 to 5 subjects है ना, they become your guiding light. That what is it that I have to study before the next GT? At least these 3 subjects I have to revise because I have forgotten them, and that is why I'm performing so badly in these 3 subjects. Study them, revise them, do your notes over again, do the previous year questions. Next time when you give the grand test, I'm sure they will level up and something else will come in the bottom 3. So then they will be the next guiding light for your next GT. That is how you will break the plateau. To break the plateau, you have to identify the problem. If you just keep giving GTs again and again, hoping for some magic to happen, it's not going to happen that way. You will have to work towards it, and then you will get out of the loop, right? I feel medicine is boring. बोरिंग तो सभी, आई मीन डॉक्टर अमन, मेडिसिन बोरिंग है तो कौन सा कोई माइक्रोबायोलॉजी बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है, कौन सा बायोकेमिस्ट्री में आपको नेटफ्लिक्स जितना मज़ा आता है? बोरिंग तो सब है. पढ़ाई इज़ बोरिंग, एंड आई हैव ऑलवेज फेल्ट दैट व्हेन इट स्टार्ट्स फीलिंग बोरिंग मीन्स यू आर डूइंग समथिंग राइट, बिकॉज डिसिप्लिन एंड रूटीन इज़ बोरिंग ना. व्हेन यू हैव टू मच हैपनिंग इन योर लाइफ, यू विल नेवर फील बोर्ड. बट व्हेन आई एम टेलिंग यू टू सिट फ्रॉम 9 in the morning to 10 in the night and every day for 10 hours keep on studying, तो वो रूटीन है, वो डिसिप्लिन है, तो वही तो बोरिंग होता है. So if you're feeling it's boring, then that's fine. Just pass through it. As I say, this too shall pass. तो बोर होते होते पढ़ो, जैसे भी पढ़ो. No one can suddenly start dancing and make it interesting for you. Exam phase में कुछ भी interesting नहीं लगेगा. बाद में कभी पढ़ोगे ना, you will say, wow, when you have one topic to read, like today when I sit and read something from a journal, I'm like, wow, this is so interesting. It has so many details in it. This is how wonderful how our physiology works. But then that is because I have only one topic to study and no exam pressure on my head. But when I'm studying for an exam, everything sounds shit. It does not sound interesting at all. It will be boring. तो बोर होते होते पढ़ो. No one can dance and make it happening for you. You will have to study it that way. Okay, next question. Okay, again, a lot of questions on GTs coming up. Whether you should read the topic again, whether you should, go through the entire incorrect. जो आपका गलत है, totally wrong, never heard of. I don't want you to start going into and doing a PhD on that topic. It's not making sense. Just pick out why you got it wrong. Was it a silly mistake? Just learn from it and move forward. Was it something totally new, never heard of? So pick up a 3-line summary of it and add it in whatever notes you have prepared. Don't start doing a PhD on that topic just because you got it incorrect. A lot of people do it because of guilt. That galat ho gaya, this means I have something wrong in my prep phase and now I have to read this topic from start to end and end up writing a thesis on it. No, just pick up a 3-line summary of it, add it in your notes, get over it and move forward. Moving on is going to be one of the most important weapon that you have in this entire preparation phase. जितना आप एक phase में stuck रहोगे, गलत exam हो गया, like you are stuck in that INI hangover right now, you will not be able to move on, you will not be able to go on to the next chapter. तो अगर आज एक question गलत हुआ, to hell with it, सीख लिया, ठीक है, आगे बढ़ो. Maybe this question will not even come in the exam ना, so why am I breaking my head over it? Let me go on to the next test. I will do some corrects and some incorrects, then I will learn from it. I will move on to the next. So just snap in and snap out of it. If you have this way of studying, you will not get into, not sulk over everything because you will have a million things to sulk over every day. Kitna karoge na, you will end up getting burnt out and I don't want you to do that. So just go pick up the wrong topic, read 3 lines about it, add it in your notes, just take it in the stride, take it with a pinch of salt कि ये तो गलत होगा ही. तो टॉपर का भी रैंक 1 का भी तो सब गलत होता ही है ना. इट्स नॉट दैट रैंक 1 गेट्स 100% स्ट्राइक रेट इन द एग्जाम. तो यू कंसिडर टॉपर्स आउट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड कि अरे उन्होंने तो मैम 5 साल पढ़ाई करी, they have studied for 12 hours, they are a different brain, they have a different extra brain attached in them, but उनका भी गलत हो जाता है. So that is fine. No one is going to get 100%. Examiner, I will also not never get 100% in my subjects if you end up making me sit in front of a computer screen in that in stressful situation. I will also not score 100 out of 100. So it's as simple as that. Consider yourself as human. Don't be so harsh. How to do revision? Revision, to my advice has always been subject wise. But having said that, as I said, to each his own. If you are more of an integrated person, go system wise. If you're more, some people are retrograde people. They like to study first MCQs and then read the topic out of it. उसमें भी कुछ गलत नहीं है. I mean, if it's working for you, how do you know it's working for you? If you're scoring decently in your GTs, this means your strategy is working for you. Then you don't have to listen to me. Be very headstrong in this journey. अगर आपकी strategy आपको GT में marks लेके दे रही है, तो then just ignore and exit from this session. Then this is not for you. So revision will happen on a subject wise basis and then revision has to be active. You can't keep switching on a video every time and keep listening to it that, oh, it'll keep falling on my ears and one day it'll enter into my brain. It doesn't work like that. Once you heard the videos, maybe towards the end, a lot of students jump back to videos because it becomes difficult to study on your own. But in the middle, especially during this phase is going to be extremely critical of phase 2, where you will have to do your active recall without the help of teachers, without the help of video lectures. Active recall मतलब जैसे स्कूल में पढ़ते थे, keep your hand on the copy or your notes, ask yourself questions that, okay, what is apoptosis, what is the marker of apoptosis, what do I see in caseous necrosis, whatever questions you're reading. So you have to ask yourself those questions, you keep a hand on your copy, keep answering them, and that's active recall. Don't keep watching videos again and again, it is not going to help you. It'll just give you pseudo confidence, to be honest. What are the tags for custom module? If you are in that custom module phase, then my advice is previous year. I mean, this is without a say. Because you're going in for NEET PG, the previous year questions for NEET is obvious. Also, I would want you to do at least 3-year papers of FMG. 3-year means 6 papers of FMG. All in all, PYQs karna hai. Clinical and image, these 3 are the bare minimum tags that you have to put up, because that's exactly a mix of what comes in the NEET PG exam. Everyday question strategy, Dr. Anchal, at least 100 minimum. If you're already doing that, then aim for higher. Whatever you're doing right now, whatever X number of MCQs you were doing till INI-CET, try on a daily basis 5 to 10 उसमें add करते जाओ. So let's assume you were doing 100 questions, because वो तो वैसे भी होगा. Let's assume I'm studying say pathology and I have done 4 chapters today. I have done 5 hours of video lectures. तो आप उसका अगर subject wise Q bank देखोगे तो आपके 100 questions वैसे ही हो जाएंगे. So 100 as a number sounds very big, but when you're studying on a subject wise basis on a daily basis, you will do 100 plus. So let's assume you're doing 100 and you want to increase that. So immediately you won't jump to a 150. From tomorrow you will do 110 every day for the next 1 week. Get yourself used to 110. Then maybe after that you can increase to 120 for the next 1 week. Just keep doing these 10 question increments on a daily basis and maintain that for 1 week. Then take the next jump. That's how many questions you should be doing. So again, your question number does not depend on the number that I am telling you, because you have to analyze. You will have your own speed of studying. So your question number is whatever X amount you're doing, keep adding 10, keep maintaining that for a week, and again add another 10. Whatever has been added as one video, Dr. Piyush, whatever has been added in version 11 is very scattered. I mean, maybe one word, maybe one tiny little update. So then putting that in one YouTube video will be a very scattered approach and very difficult to actually put across. Maybe one mnemonic. So I have given you guys a PDF which is available on my Telegram group, and it should not take you more than 20-25 minutes to go through that PDF. It is not even something which is something like a massive update or a massive change that has happened, because most of the version 10 videos or X videos, they were recorded very recently. So version 11 does not have too many updates as such. Maybe an extra Nobel Prize that someone won in that 1 year, or maybe some sickle cell anemia update that came across, and all of those are mentioned in that PDF. Just go through that once. You won't need another video for it, honestly. Should I watch all the videos again? No. अगर याद है तो please don't waste time. Just pick up your notes and start revising. अगर revision में बहुत ज़्यादा time लग रहा है, then maybe you can take the help of the video lectures. Otherwise, go ahead with revising it, as active recall from your notes. How NEET PG pathology is different from INI, I can tell you. Dr. Hemant, go through the LRR that we conducted for INI-CET. Over there, the topics that I had put up were very INI specific, and that is how NEET PG is different, because those topics are not asked in NEET PG or not tested too much in NEET PG. So my advice is कि अगर आप rapid revision कर रहे हो for path and for micro, that is pretty much NEET PG centric. So you will be covering all your NEET topics, because whatever I have for INI, I usually take that up in the LRR, which was anyway different. You don't have to worry about it. You just focus on rapid revision, you focus on your PYQs of NEET, and you are sorted for path and micro. Will there be a resolve for INI? INI concern, are you focusing, Dr. Piyush, on November INI now? Because right now our focus is not on INI in any way. For students who are targeting November INI, you please get going. You make your entire timetable. You study for November from that perspective. But right now we are obviously going to have classes, or whatever we'll have will only be for NEET PG. Minimum how many hours to study per day? I can't decide that for you, but if I would have been in your place, 93 days की बात है, I would have gone in for a 10-hour plus, because I also know myself, my mind gets distracted. So I would know that if I'm sitting for, let's say, 10 or 11 hours, my output might be of only 9 hours. Or I don't think I'll clock in 10 out of 10 on any day. But yes, 10 I would definitely target. 10 productive hours I would definitely target out there. And now I've never promoted the fact that detach from the world and switch off social media and go into your den, don't talk to anyone. I don't believe in all of that. But when you're so close to the exam and you're giving it your best shot, there can be some negativity that can sometimes distract you. So while I'm not telling you to just vanish from the world, I am telling you to limit your screen time, especially with respect to social media, because so much is written on it and you end up consuming so much of nonsense content that indirectly that has an impact on your performance while you're studying. So if it's a matter of only, let's say, 93 days, I think we can limit our screen time, which requires discipline, because once you open social media, how 5 minutes change into 5 hours, I don't have the answer to that, you don't have the answer to that. So maybe you can consume social media, but you can have a certain time of the day when you're going to do that. Maybe it can be a de-stress or a stress buster for you every evening once you're done, exhausted with all your studies. You've kept a dedicated time that 30 minutes I'm going to brain rot, watch nonsense content, and I'm going to actually have a stress buster in that way. That works very good. That is going to be a breath of fresh air for you. But if you're just randomly opening your phone all through the day and then consuming content and getting influenced by it, that someone or some influencer said that, oh, I have a PDF which I am giving out to you, and then you are constantly chasing him or her for that PDF and wasting your time, that does not make sense. So please limit your screen time in these last 93 days. GT answers, I believe I have given. For students who have 1 year for the exam left, Dr. Medifesto. Okay, don't do rapid revision for short subjects. I mean, LRR अभी मत जाओ. Rapid revision कर सकते हो if you have 1 hour, but LRR वाले phase में तो अभी you are too early for that. Okay, do you have another question from a student? 16 subjects are done, micro, FSM and ophthala left. So yes, complete them. This is the best time. You start with the 3 subjects that you're left with, because the more time passes and if you're left with subjects, that pressure will only build up and you will not be able to concentrate anywhere else. Pick up those 2 days per subject, finish off your leftovers. Your mind will be satisfied that your 19 subject one revision is done. Then you start with this. So maybe you can start first 5 days, you can take out from this and do your pending topics, like you said, ophthal, micro, whatever is left, you just do those and then you get going with the rest of those. LRR answer already done. There is no, whoever is like only dependent on LRR, so then you will have to watch the previous LRR, because this time we have resolve classes, which are live classes on the app starting from June 20th. So that is going to be different. LRR is not going to be as detailed. Only some YouTube sessions in the end, maybe one-liners would be conducted. Anyone starting after INI, whether you've got a horrible rank, whether you've got a decent rank, your strategy remains the same. It is about doing the same thing thrice over. Your content and your notes. I would not say कि अच्छा बहुत बुरी rank आई तो आप main videos पढ़ने लग जाओ, because revise कब करोगे? बहुत अच्छी rank भी आई तो अब क्या एकदम से what will you do more? The game is only of revision. The game is not of changing your content. Revision, MCQ, revision, MCQ. If you've got a very, very bad rank, this means your revision was not on point. Revise well and then move to MCQs. If you've got a great rank and I mean you feel that okay, me as per my my whatever I studied, I think I've got an awesome rank, I've done well in INI and I just want to build up from here. This means the number of MCQs and GTs in your preparation needs to go up. Keep practicing so that you can build up on whatever is missing in your preparation. Strategy वही है. Revision, MCQ. Divide your day. Let's assume you're studying for 10 hours. Starting में तो 6 hours, 4 hours कर लो. 6 hours you do your revision, 4 hours you do your MCQs. Try to do a 60-40, 60-40 till the very last day. I would have done that. I would never go to only MCQ approach or only notes approach. Either which way, going to both ends is going to be a little bit problematic out here. You have to create a balance. 60% of your time goes in repeatedly doing the same boring notes again and again till you remember कि page number 4 के 4th line में ये वाला word लिखा था. Now that is the kind of visual memory I'm wanting you to develop, which is only possible when you look at that page again and again. Every time if you're reading apoptosis, once from this app, once from another app, once from some GT, once from some explanation from some Q bank, तो पढ़ा तो आपने same apoptosis, but your mind did not make any visual memory of it only. So why not every time a question in your GT comes on apoptosis and you get it right, you don't read it from there, but you go back to your notes and read it every time from there only. You read the same markers from there, you same annexes you read from there, same cast pages you read, and next time you will know कि अच्छा page 4 पे एक table बना था, ma'am had taught us that okay, these are the cast pages for apoptosis which INI, NEET, FMG, every exam is testing. So now my mind even remembers कि अच्छा वो ऐसा एक 8 बनाया था, ऐसा 10 बनाया था. That visual memory you have to build in the next 93 days, which is possible when you look at the same thing over and over and over again. Just by reading the topic from 1 million places and saying I read apoptosis 100 times, but then your mind has read it from 10 different places and never had one source to read it from. So revision, revision, revision. Bas, these are the 3 pillars right now that you have. Revision obviously following it up with MCQs. How to manage burnout days? Take a break. I don't know why taking a break has become like puts you all on a guilt trip. Obviously, it should if your break is lasting for 2 days, 4 days, or a week. That should put you on a guilt trip. But if let's assume I was studying for the first half of the day and my mind has totally like frozen. It is not processing anything. Even daily life activities, it has stopped processing because that phase will come in this journey. So rather than sitting and again blaming myself on, oh, I have entered into a burnout phase and I am not studying as much as my, friends are studying, or peer pressure is hitting on you, just detach from everything. Take that break. If it takes 4 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours, go out for a walk, take fresh air, which is very important. Sleep off if nothing is working, but take that break and you will be able to cover up. एज आई सेड, ये वाला टाइम टेबल तो किसी का भी खत्म नहीं हो रहा ना. यू थिंक 100% टाइम टेबल एनी वन स्टूडेंट विल बी एबल टू डू? नो, बट माई टारगेट इज ओनली 85-90%. So what have I kept that 10% for burnout days only? So give yourself that break when required, but it should be a short break. And whenever, see, the problem is that you keep sitting with your books during that phase and you wasted that time also, and ultimately you get demotivated and you end up wasting 2-3 days after it. So better would be that if you're feeling too exhausted, too burnt out, too sleepless, take that 2 hour break right there without blaming yourself, without putting yourself through that guilt trip. Take that break for 2 hours and come back stronger. That's how it works. Didn't do INI-CET, what do I do next? Never mind. Then you don't have any trauma in life. You have no PTSD to suffer from, like these people are asking me again and again कि हमसे तो पढ़ाई ही नहीं हो रही because INI flashbacks are coming. So if you've not given INI-CET, take that to your advantage. तो आपको पता ही नहीं कि कितना बुरा हो सकता है किसी के साथ. So then when you're not aware, ignorance is also a blessing at many points in life, right? So just start off with this without thinking anything. पढ़ो, GT दो and just get going. Strategy for resolve will be different from RR. No, Dr. Piyush, that's just a live format. RR is a recorded format. Content does not change. If it doesn't change across platforms, it can't change with the teacher. Yes, live versus recorded is just interaction added to it, but the content has to remain the same, right? Strategy for new interns. Okay, for students, next NEET PG वो अलग session होगा. Let's not combine everything together. It will create a lot of confusion. Next session when we meet, we'll have a 2027 plan. Abhi let's go in for the rescue mission for students who are just going in for the recent exam. Resolve better than RR, I cannot say that. I am teaching in both, so I am giving my 100% in both. Now it's as per the student what works for him. If you are more of a recorded video person, playing it on 2x, doing it on your own, self-study person, then rapid revision recorded videos are good for you. If you're more of a live video person where you want to interact and you need the discipline that if the teacher is sitting for 10 hours or 8 hours or 6 hours, then I'll also sit for those many hours, then live is for you. But as a rule, the subject remains the same, the teacher remains the same. So the content can't change, right? Next question, previous LRR देख सकते हो. पहले तो ये ख़त्म कर लो ना. फर्स्ट LRR ऑब्सेशन इज़ फॉर रियल गाइस. पहले अपना मेन काम तो ख़त्म करो. ये डोंट यू थिंक ये ऑलरेडी एक शॉर्टकट है? शॉर्टकट का शॉर्टकट निकालने की कोशिश कर रहे हो फिलहाल, बट अभी वो आ जाएगा. दैट LRR टाइम विल ऑल्सो कम इन योर लाइफ. व्हेन यू आर इन योर लास्ट 21 days यू विल गो टू LRR ऑल्सो. सो डोंट वरी टू अबाउट इट. अभी तो ऑलरेडी रैपिड रिविजन एक मेन वीडियोज़ का शॉर्टकट ही तो है ना. तो पहले वो शॉर्टकट तो ले लो. टेक द फर्स्ट शॉर्टकट, देन आफ्टर दैट वील टेक द नेक्स्ट शॉर्टकट. यू कैन डू डायरेक्टली एंड फिनिश लाइन पर जाके खड़े हो जाओ. दैट डजंट वर्क, राइट? सो यू हैव टू रन द रेस फॉर सम डिस्टेंस फॉर यू टू बी वर्दी इनफ टू स्टैंड एट द फिनिश लाइन. तो LRR के लिए वर्दी बनने के लिए पहले RR रिवाइज करना पड़ेगा. देन ओनली गॉड विल गिव यू समथिंग दैट ओके LRR विल मेक सेंस टू यू, विल गेट इन टू योर माइंड. दैट इज ओनली पॉसिबल. एंड LRR विल ओनली बी बेनिफिशियल, विल गेट यू मार्क्स इफ यू डन RR. तो उतना करो. देन अभी डोंट गेट इन टू LRR फेज. इट्स वे टू अर्ली टू डू दैट. Okay, so any other future exam plans? This is not the session for you guys. That will be separate. December FMG, next year NEET PG FMG. This is not the session. INI hangover answered. GTs answered. Any new questions you can let me know. Okay. Minimum number of revision of any notes, Dr. Arun. I've told you from my side, it has to be 3 cycles. If you can accommodate more, which is slightly difficult, but if you can, hats off, please do that. इतना भी कर लिया, that is more than enough, because I know from having been a student at one point of time, stress days, admit card days, center management days, burnout days, backlog days will make sure that you do not finish these 3 revisions. I have been there, I have done that. I know नहीं हो पाता. Timetable तो सिर्फ on paper होता है. The reality is very different from how we make a timetable. So if you can do more than this, please do it. I'll be so happy. But bare minimum aim इतना करो. इसका भी 85% achieve कर लिया, you've killed it. Honestly, it's going to be great. RR के साथ थोड़ा extra पढ़ना है, again if time permits. See, sometimes even if time doesn't permit, let's assume you're doing rapid revision, you come across a topic which you have never read in life. समझ ही नहीं आया, the teacher scanned through it very quickly thinking you know it but you don't know it. Then what do? Sit, cry like we usually do? No, I be smart. I open the main videos keeping in mind कि मेरे पास 15 minutes है, मुझे 15 minutes में सिर्फ ये वाला topic main video पे touch करना है, understand करना है, ना left right ज़्यादा ऊपर नीचे जाके scan नहीं करना video. Don't get lost in that ocean of main videos. Quickly understand and jump back. It took 15 minutes because I gave my mind a 15-minute time slot कि इतने में ही समझो और वापस आओ and get going with rapid revision. So if you want to go into the depth of a topic, no one is stopping you. You should know how much to do and when to jump back. So you can definitely do that. It's doable. I've seen so many students actually study in this way. I have also seen students जो main videos को सुनते हैं because they have no concepts, they've not studied since a while, but the notes that they are following are rapid revision because they know concepts सुनते गए but finally जो summary है वो rapid revision में लिखा है. So many students do this. If you have not studied before for INI and you're in your internship, you are a fresh student, कुछ पढ़ा है कुछ भूल गए. So many students in their internship do that. They listen to main videos but they are doing that with the notes of rapid revision so that they know सुन लिया समझ लिया but finally याद कितना करना है, पढ़ना कितना है, रिवाइज कितना करना है, that is going to be the RR notes. That also works wonders. Minimum number of revisions I think I've answered. How many PYQs? I think that's a good question. NEET PG ka to if you're giving the exam, how many ever possible? 10 years would be great if you get a hang of it, but at least 5 years से ज़्यादा तो करना ही है. INI-CET, if we are going again far-fetched, at least 2 years to target करो, which means that I'm going in for 4 exams. And my advice would be just go through a quick recall of FMG exam. 3 years again means you are doing 6 exams because a lot of questions are being overlapped between FMG and NEET PG also. So this is your bare minimum. Where can you extend further to NEET PG? Whatever you can extend to 5, 6, 7 years. If you can go. Even the old PYQs can re-emerge at any point. So yeah, this is again what I've told you is कि इतना तो करना ही करना है. Beyond this, as you wish. No one is stopping you. GT discussion, I think I've already told you. You are supposed to do it on the same day. You're supposed to analyze your GT on the same day. First you do incorrect, then you can get going with the rest. If you are already a professional in this, if you're pro in this, then you go question 1 to question end. Like you gave the GT, you analyze it in the same sequence. Rapid revision of medicine or do it if you did main videos, Dr. Varun, and if you think see medicine ka main videos ka problem is ke samajhne mein it looks very nice and you feel that you're becoming a doctor, so you're understanding so much, but as I said, the last lap of your cycle of revision is not to become a good patient oriented doctor. Somehow it is about survival mode that we have entered into. So abhi ke liye my advice would be main videos to sun liya na, so you have your concepts in place. My advice would be now revise with rapid revision. Someone directly starting with rapid revision might have a problem here that ma'am I don't know all the concepts. He might have to switch between RR and main videos. But for you, you've learned the main videos, Dr. Varun, you have your concepts in place. Now reading rapid revision should be a piece of cake for you. It will be much, much easier to understand. Now you just have to finish the bulk of the content. How to tackle negative marking? So, what are the indirectly you're trying to ask me क्या question attempt करना है और कौन सा नहीं करना. जिसका most of the questions, so 2 options you can easily rule out and the dilemma is always between 2 options के क्या mark करें. तो उसमें तो take an intelligent guess, try to mark whatever you can. There will be some questions, especially PSM, some योजना, some biostats, कुछ समझ ही नहीं आ रहा, कुछ सुना ही नहीं, time बहुत लग रहा है, or you never ever heard of what under under the sky has been asked to you, then you skip those questions. That is where you avoid negative marking कि कुछ भी नहीं पता ही नहीं MBBS का question आया, कहाँ का question आया. So then you take a skip on those. Those are the kind of questions you don't want to be very aggressive in. You don't want to lose out on marks. But if you're stuck between two options and you can take an intelligent guess, you feel you're getting that gut feeling, you're getting the sixth sense that I think ये answer हो सकता है, I think it will be a safe guess and you can go ahead with answering. Those will not be a problem. उसमें भी कुछ गलत होगा, थोड़ा बहुत negative marking तो होगा ही ना. Now this is how the pattern of the exam is. But how can you least go into that loop is that जो बिल्कुल नहीं आता फिर उसे जाने दो. Then don't try to apply too much of brain to it. Form कब निकलेगा? All these questions, the miscellaneous questions I'm not taking up. That will happen when it will happen. ठीक है. And other exam students, this is not the session for you. FMG or any other LRR, I think I've told multiple times, LRR नहीं हो रहा. LRR देखना है तो previous LRR देख लो. One liner session होगा, वो end में होगा. That is a bonus session. That is not your go-to one-stop solution session for the exam for any student of FMG or NEET. Please get going with your rapid revision. That is going to be your mainstay. Okay, what we can do, I think most subject की छोटी copy बनाते बनाते, हाँ तो छोटी copy 20th notebook, whatever you want to call it, I've told you वो 20 pages की ही होनी चाहिए, not more than that, either digital or A4 size sheets. 1 page per subject is the max that I can give to you right now, not more than that. उससे ज़्यादा मतलब you're writing everything again, wasting your time and you'll never get back to it. 1 page per subject, maybe for shorter subjects you can go for half a page also, means 20-25 topics in every subject. That's the max that you can revise in the last 1 week. So Jonah, even if I have 20 topics per subject and I consider 19 subjects, so now imagine that how many topics I have to revise in the last 1 week. तो थोड़ा humanly भी सोचना है ना हमें, so I can only accommodate this much. That's how short your 20th notebook और छोटी copy should be. सिर्फ topic लिखो कि ये सब मुझे revise करके जाना है. 20-25 topics per subject, that's all. Okay, anything else that anyone, what we can do, how will you complete patho in 4 days? तो वो तो rapid revision से ही हो पाएगा. It is not possible to do it from main videos. Main videos के लिए तो you need good 7-8 days, but that was a different set of time that was to be done earlier. I'm not crying over it. अभी का जो time है उसके accordingly adapt कर लेते हैं. तो अभी का time is rapid revision. Rapid revision is 20 hours. 4 days में मतलब आपको 5 hours every day देखना है. I don't think I talk too fast. You can hear me out at 1.25 or 1.5x. Many people hear me out at 2x also and say that हो जाता है. Still I'm not saying that 1.5x की स्पीड पे 5 घंटे का रोज का वीडियो तो देख सकते हो ना. तो 4 days में हो गया पैथोलॉजी. 5 घंटे का वीडियो मान लो 1x पे भी देखो, 5 hours भी लगाओ, बट उसके बाद देन यू विल डू सेल्फ स्टडी एंड यू विल डू MCQs. तो 4 days is very much doable for pathology. Why not? LRR questions I think I've answered, guys. Anything other than this that you would want to ask? Or what we can do out here is let's keep this thread open to all the doubts that we have. Any other question in the influx of these comments that I have missed out on, I would suggest you put it in the comments one by one. In the next 24 hours I will reply to each one of you. Don't put academic doubts here, uske liye to we have Telegram and so many places. Put your strategy related doubts over here that you have, that you're facing an issue with, and I will personally reply to each one of you over the next 24 hours. I promise you will get a reply and I'll keep following it up. So anything that I've missed out in this session, and I'm sure I've missed out, or maybe you've not, because it went on for almost an hour, so maybe you've not gone into that timestamp and heard your answer, so you can put that query over here and then I'll reply to you. Okay, I hope that works. Which one is better, QBank or custom module? If you are studying for the very first time, subject wise is always better. If you give an INI, you have a basic hang of things, then start with custom module. It's again phase 1, phase 2. Phase 1 में हमेशा subject wise पढ़ना होता है. Phase 2 में you switch to custom modules. How many questions daily? Again, repeat questions, 100 plus जाना ही जाना है. Don't tell me how many corrects you got under in INI. The strategy doesn't change. It remains the same. 27 का strategy, again future strategy sessions we will have in a separate class. अभी के लिए this is only focusing on students who are giving the nearest possible exam. बाकी students के लिए 27 FMG NEET, that will be a separate session. So I'll call off the session right now. I will be looking out for any other queries that you have. Put it in the comments below. I promise I will reply to you within the next 24-hour window. You will get a reply for sure. Just put it down right as soon as this video ends. Anything that I've missed out, just type it out once, give it that 1 minute extra, and I'll certainly get back to you. Right? Thank you. Thank you so much for joining in. We won't stretch this further. It's anyway become much more lengthy than we expected it, but that's bound to happen in a strategy session and doubts. But yes, just as I said, put everything at one place, declutter. एक NEET PG का mock exam आज दे दो on the app. That can be something like, even if you give it very casually, not in the exact atmosphere of a grand test because it's later in the day. Maybe you don't want to analyze it also, but just want to give it like a baseline that yeah, I gave one mock exam before I got going with my 93-day timetable. And then you will know that, acha, where are you making some mistakes? You will get some line of action basically. And then you can get going with your timetable starting tomorrow. Precisely how I've prepared it, that is starting tomorrow morning only. Okay. Thank you so much guys for joining in. Wishing you all the best. I'll keep meeting you again. This is just an outline, but I will keep having these follow-up sessions of strategy where we will change. Timetables are made to change. So we will be changing them. You will be changing these a lot of times. We'll keep doing that. We'll keep meeting again. But yes, hopefully when we meet next time, you shouldn't be in the phase of still sulking over your INI-CET result, or you shouldn't be coming to me saying that, ma'am, I have not studied for the last 10 days even after your session and now I want to start. We shouldn't be in that phase. You should be coming to me saying that, ma'am, I studied for 10 days. I thought that I will do 5 subjects or 4 subjects, but I could only do 3. I'll be happy with that. But you coming to me saying that, ma'am, ab 10 din se bhi kuch nahi pada because we were still crying over what happened in INI. Now that is where I will have a problem. I will also not be able to handle your timetable then. So save yourself from the pressure, save me from the pressure, get going, forget what happened in the previous exam. Consistently apna kal se with a positive mindset that this is going to be the best exam that I will give. I will put in so much of hard work, discipline and effort in the month of June, July and August that the universe will have to reward me with a decent result at the end of August. Now that is the mindset that you start off with and get going right away. Thank you so much for joining in. Put in your doubts in the comments and I'll get back to you guys. Thank you.